Hi Aries, welcome to your February 2020 Astrology 33 bonus love reading. Thanks to those of you who've liked, viewed, shared, subscribed, and donated to the channel. I appreciate all of that. And for those of you interested in booking a personal reading with me, just check out the description of the video for more details there. As far as what we have in front of us, this is what I call the Bridging the Gap spread. And the way it works is the cards on the left side here represent your energy toward the connection with your main love interest. Cards on the right side represent their energy toward the connection. These are the past energies, present energies, and future energies. Once we get through those, we'll pull some oracle cards to gain some additional insight. That's where the bridging the gap dynamic comes into play. And as far as the decks being used, on the left side we have the Lover's Path Tarot, and on the right side we have the Tarot of Sexual Magic. Alright, so with all that out of the way, past energy on your side, we have the Eight of Coins. So this is actually Virgo energy here. It represents the first 10 degrees of Virgo. But this could be playing out one of two ways. On the one hand, it could just be saying that you're really just working on yourself, focusing on your career, and not really putting much energy into the connection. And at the same time, though, given that their position in the spread, they are looking toward this direction, this could just be saying that this was you actually putting work in toward the connection. So it could definitely play out one of either ways. I'm leaning towards it being that you guys are probably putting work in toward the connection, but I could also see it the other way where you might have, really just been focused on work and not been paying too much attention to the connection. But for the majority of you, I really feel that you guys actually were putting in the effort in the past. And past energy on their side is the Nine of Wands. So this is actually Sagittarius energy here, and with this card showing up this way, I would say that also leads to it being either of those two possibilities, where on the one hand, this could just be saying that you were trying to put in work toward the connection, but with them coming across with that Nine of Wands energy, you might have found that they were very guarded, right? They had their guard up, and maybe you felt like, okay, well, I'm not really getting any traction with this connection, and maybe because of that, you might have decided to focus on your work. Or on the flip side of that, it could just be saying that because you guys were focused on your work, maybe they had their guard up, like, okay, this person's not even putting any energy into the connection, you know what I mean? So we'll see which of those two pans out as more likely as we go through the spread, but obviously either of those scenarios could work, depending, I mean, it is just a general reading, right? So that's what I'm seeing in the past. In the present position, we have the Prince of Arrows. So this is actually the equivalent of the Knight of Swords, which is Gemini energy. And given that this is showing up in the present here, this could just be saying that now you could just be communicating with this person, maybe opening up about your feelings to them, but definitely making some kind of effort towards this person. So again, whether this was a situation where you were just focused more on work and maybe just working on yourself in the past, now it looks like you're actually definitely making some kind of movement forward toward this person. And for others of you where, again, maybe you were already putting effort in the past, maybe this is you just trying a different approach this time around too, which is to just be more communicative, right? Like maybe in the past you were doing more practical things for this person to let them know you're interested, and maybe you're feeling like, okay, well, this isn't really getting me anywhere, so let me just come flat out and say it, right? That could be how it's playing out for some of you. The present energy on their side is the King of Chalices. So this is actually Scorpio energy here. So for some of you, you could definitely be dealing with a Sagittarius that has Scorpio placements or vice versa. But King of Chalices showing up in this position, this shows someone that is still a bit closed off emotionally. They might open up to you somewhat, but then they could just as easily draw that energy back. So it's hard for me to pick up on this yet, but it could just be that this is the way that this person is, basically, where they really want to see someone put in a lot of work before they open up, because maybe they have like this intensity, but they don't like to show that to people. So they really want to see them put in work before they open up. For others of you, this could just be one of those things where this could even be like this is their way of flirting, you know what I mean? Like they like to test the boundaries and whatnot. So either way, obviously, I could see how that would be frustrating for an Aries energy. It goes without saying, but yeah, that's what I'm seeing coming from this person. All right, and then the future energy on your side, we have the Ten of Arrows. So this is the equivalent of the Ten of Swords. So I could see this going two ways as well. First way that comes to mind is that you could say, all right, well, if this is someone that you feel like you've been putting in work trying to, connect with this person and it's not getting you anywhere, could just be saying that in that case, this could be you deciding, you know what, I've put in all the effort I'm going to put in, I'm just walking away from this, right? And then for others of you, this could just be saying that now that you actually have tried a different approach with this person, that could just be saying that it finally brings an end to, the tension that the two of you might have had. So basically, what I'm saying is, for some of you, the fact that you do open up, actually, that might get them to open up as well. So it could just be one of those things there. But I really could see that playing out either way as well. Obviously with the Ten of Swords and traditional tarot, it looks a lot more doom and gloom with the background and, the swords in the person's back and everything. But here it really could play out either way, where it could also be that this person, by you opening up, that actually puts an end to this tense situation where, everyone's trying to test each other's boundaries. Future energy on their side is Temperance. So more Sagittarius energy here, and this represents balance. So this is why I would actually say I'm leaning toward it being for more of you. It would actually turn out that through this opening up, this person actually finally does open up as well. So I do see that as more likely. But I do have to say, for others of you, it could definitely be that other scenario too, where I was saying, if you guys have continued to put in effort and you feel like they're just closed off, this could be you deciding to walk away. Um, but whether you do walk away or it's actually one of those situations where it's just saying opening up does, bring the two of you closer together with the Temperance here, I do see them putting in effort in the future. So that's why I'm saying it's a little bit difficult for me to pick up if this is one of those people where they truly are closed off because they're worried about being hurt and they just really want to make sure someone's serious before they open up, or if this was just someone who was trying to play mind games a little bit to test their boundaries and see how far they could push things, and then when you finally decide to walk away, then they're like, oh wait, let me go in and fix things, which, like I said, obviously that could be frustrating for an Aries energy, probably for anyone, quite frankly. But yeah, that's the only thing I'm not 100% sure of is which of those two categories they fit into. We'll see if the Oracle cards add some additional insight into that. Bottom of the deck on your side, we have Contemplation. So this is actually the major arcana card for Virgo. And so for some of you, that could definitely be saying that, yeah, in the past, you really might have just been working on yourself, not really putting too much energy into the connection. And, maybe now, like I said, with that, we do see the change in energy there where this could just be saying that this represents you thinking about changing your approach for, like I said, maybe some of you were doing more practical things to try to get this person's attention, and then in the present you decide, all right, well, I need to change up my approach. Let me just flat out let them know how I feel, see what happens, right? That could be what's going on there. But yeah, either way, this is a pretty withdrawn energy, so it looks like you guys were keeping to yourself quite a bit. And interestingly enough, I do notice that they're actually, beneath this, we do have the Two of Cups. And on the bottom of the deck on their side, they actually have the Two of Chalices. So this actually is Cancer energy, pretty much the same as the Two of Cups. So yeah, this could just represent where, whatever the case may have been, whether it was a disconnect by design, where, like I said, maybe this person might have been playing a bit of mind games to see what you were about, or it's just one of those things where they were just closed off and really wanted to make sure you were committed to the situation before they opened up. Looks like it does look like they definitely have feelings for you. So I feel like for most of you, it's going to end up working out, however frustrating may have seemed to get to that point. But yeah, let's see what the Oracle cards add to the mix, though. Alright, so first we'll take a look at the Mystic Moon Oracle deck, see if we get any messages there. And for those of you who haven't seen this type of reading from me before, I actually do pre-shuffle this deck before I start recording, and I just look for jumpers. So first I'll be looking for any unspoken messages from you to them, and then from them to you. And if I shuffle for a while and nothing comes up, I just take that as a sign to keep moving, rather than just pull a random card, since it's a general reading. But if you're wondering, with the personal readings, I do always pull cards for both positions. Alright, so let's see if we have any unspoken messages from you to them. Okay. Oh, got a few. Alright, and let's see if we have any unspoken messages from them to you. Okay, got a couple there too. So a lot of unspoken messages. So let's see what we got. First, we got yours. All right. Interesting. So the first one says, if I knew then what I know now, I would have made different choices. So again, this is one where we could see that fitting with either scenario where, like I said, maybe some of you realized in the past that, okay, well, this approach I used in the past wasn't working. I'm going to try a totally different approach, right? That could be speaking to that. Or for others' view where, you know, you come to the realization that, okay, well, I've been putting in all this work and this person's clearly just closed off. That could just be saying that, for some of you might feel like, you know what, I wouldn't have even put in any effort with this person had I known back then that this is what it was going to be, right? Your beauty still moves me, so that's a pretty straightforward one there. And then I'm a better person because of you. Interesting. Can't necessarily say I see anything that clearly indicates that that would be the case unless, really you feel like they helped you grow in some way where you realize that maybe you did need to take a different approach. So I could see that maybe being the case for some of you where maybe if you really were just all about work, 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 right? And then you realize, oh, okay, wait, I'm actually losing a connection that I actually value in the process. Maybe that could be a situation where I could see that message fitting in because you're like, okay, I actually need to, switch it up here and put in a little effort into this connection before I lose the person, right? Okay, and then let's see what we got on their side. We will be together again. So interesting. So maybe this is someone that you actually were with at some point, and this is actually more of a reconciliation. So, like I said, maybe it really was that, maybe because you had to focus on career, maybe you guys might have split up because of that, possibly. And now you guys are coming back together. My mind and heart always comes back to you. So I could definitely see that being the case, given that we have the Two of Cups at the bottom of the deck on their side. So yeah, like I said, I definitely get the vibe that this person was a bit closed off in the past, and it looks like they definitely open up with that temperance energy in the future. But like I said, the only thing that was a little difficult for me was trying to figure out if it was because of a past wound that they were closed off, or again, like I said, or if this was more like in their mind, more of like a mind game type thing. But hopefully those resonated with you either way. All right, and then last thing we'll do, if I could get the deck, is take one card from the Wisdom of the Oracle deck, and then we'll wrap up. Same situation here. I did pre-shuffle this deck, and here I'm just looking for one card, and we'll wrap up after that. Almost got one there. Okay, got one. You guys got two to see. There's the artwork, and the number is 7. So yeah, really, just before I even read the message from the book, that makes me wonder if maybe some of you did actually have to move away for your career, possibly, either you or them, or maybe even get that we do see a lot of Sagittarius energy here. Maybe this is even someone you met while you were away at work, and there was like a distance between the two of you. So that's even a possibility I'm seeing as well. But let's see what the Oracle card adds to the mix. Okay, it says being in flow, returning to source, recognizing how pieces fit together, a natural pattern of events. The Oracle's message. Isn't it wonderful when you feel yourself in the flow of life, when events and conditions seem to engage you in a way that is fluid and effortless? This card reminds you that going with the flow is exactly what you need to do right now. Ride the wave of opportunity formed by perfect conditions. Allow trust and faith to guide you forward as you flow like a river into the sea of life. So definitely interesting message there where it's saying, going with the flow. So maybe that's where you might have picked up on things too, where maybe, like I said, maybe you guys were trying all these different things to, get the connection off the ground with this person. And then maybe the going with the flow aspect is just you coming to realization that, you know what, instead of doing all these intricate things, let me just talk to the person and see where they're at. You know what I mean? That could be how it's playing out for some of you. The relationship message says there are points in a relationship when you have to decide to go with the flow rather than dictate the course you share with another. Can you let go of the need to have things your way and allow the relationship itself, your combined goals and desires, to steer the ship? Can you both transcend your personalities and allow the partnership to form its own identity, its own energy? Now is the time to relax and see where this mutual journey leads. So that's definitely an interesting message there too, where in a way I could see that maybe that's how this energy is coming across too, where both of you might have been very set in your own ways, and then that was maybe the realization that you guys might have come to, that okay, we're both trying to do things our way, and we're not getting anywhere in the process. So maybe it's like a, almost like calling a truce and trying to meet in the middle in some way, shape, or form. But hopefully that resonated with you guys. We'll wrap up there, and I'll see you all next month. All right, bye.